So section 3 is about professional obligations. Engineers shall acknowledge their errors and shall not distort or alter the facts. So basically, according to virtue ethics, it's important to be an honest person. So virtue ethics would not have any issues with this. Engineers shall advise their clients or employees when they believe a project will not be successful. Again, virtue ethics will have no issue with this either. Engineers will not accept outside employment to the detriment of their regular work or interest. Before accepting any outside engineering employment, they will notify their employees. I think this step depends on the case, but in general, virtue ethics would require a person to notify their current employer if they choose to go somewhere else. Engineers shall not attempt to attract an engineer from another company by false or misleading pretenses. Again, virtue ethics is all about being an honest person with good morals. So virtue ethics would agree with this. Engineers shall not promote their own interests at the expense or the dignity and integrity of the profession. So according to virtue ethics, it would be important to respect your profession. Engineers shall treat all persons with dignity, respect, fairness, and without discrimination. A good person with good morals would respect everybody and there would be no discrimination. So virtue ethics would not have any issue with this. Engineers shall at all times strive to serve the public interest. So an engineer with good morals would help with the well-being of the community, and engineers should know what is right and what is wrong. So if something is wrong in a company and the engineer knows that, they would have to notify the appropriate authorities. Also, if engineers are encouraged to extend public knowledge and appreciation of engineering and its achievements, virtue ethics may disagree with this because having an extended public knowledge doesn't really have much to do with a person being good and honest. Engineers are encouraged to adhere to the principles of sustainable development in order to protect the environment for future generations. Protecting the environment is something virtue ethics would be in favor of because this is something a good person would do. And engineers shall continue their professional development throughout their careers and should keep current in their specialty fields by engaging in professional practice, participating in continuing education courses, reading and technical literature, etc. Virtue ethics may disagree with this because engineers do not need professional development to be a good person. According to virtue ethics, it's important to be honest, and if engineers shall avoid the use of statements containing a material misrepresentation of fact or omitting a material fact, in this case, virtue ethics would, it's important to be honest. So in this case, it's the opposite of being an honest person. Consistent with the foregoing, engineers may advertise for recruitment of personnel. This case is not related to being a good person, so virtue ethics would probably not agree. Consistent with the foregoing, engineers may prepare articles for the lay or technical press, but such articles shall not imply credit to the author for work performed by others. Again, virtue ethics values honesty and being a good person, so taking credit for somebody else's work is wrong. Everybody that helped with a particular article should be given credit. Engineers shall not, without the consent of all interested parties, promote or arrange for new employment or practice in connection with a specific project for which the engineer has gained particular and specialized knowledge. So in this case, I think it really depends on the urgency of the scenario. A good person would be willing to help out if required. So it just really depends on what the issue is. And I think it's important for them to make sure with their current employer if it's okay to help someone else. And it's similar for point number 2. It also depends on the scenario, and if the former and current clients are on good terms, then I think it would be totally okay for a good person to be helping someone out.